Good morning, everybody. I just had a discussion with these two about letting me in my car. I came out the door, and the sweet little angels were coming right up to me, so I went back towards the door, and I kept going, I want my car, and the one's over here pecking at my car. It was too cute. It was just absolutely too cute. You gotta love them fellas. Okay, so I'm in my car. I'm getting everything ready to go camping. I'm just about there, but I'm not well, I got to get milk and eggs. So I'm going to get those and put them in the fridge of the RV. I got everything else in there that I need. Freezer's packed. I just have to put clothes and milk and eggs and things like that in there. However, I'm off to Walmart because I've been wanting a smaller gas grill for the house. So we got one of those great big 5 burner and then the burner on the side, and you know, we've had it a few years, but it's just too big for Chris and I. We don't need all that. So when I was making him his birthday dinner, I said, how do you want your steak cooked? I said, hopefully on the gas grill. I said, or I can do charcoal, however you want. Oh no, honey, pan fried. I said, no, babe, would it be easier? I said, I'm not pan frying the steak. I said, so I will do it on the gas grill. I said, we haven't used it in a while. I go out. It takes a minute to get the grill started because, you know, the push button, like on all of them's broke. So I got it started. Go to clean it, get it pretty, you know, just clean it beforehand. And I went to put the meat on it, and the second burner in broke off. Yeah, so it broke. So now I have my reason, you know, because the push button starter doesn't work, and that's a little hard trying to get that, you know, long nosed lighter in there. So when you do, it goes poof, you know, and there goes the hair in your hands. And now that burner's broke. I'm not going to spend the money to replace it, because down in the bottom, you know, when you open the doors, where the gas tank sits, it's getting rusty, so it's time to replace it. So anyhow, long story shortened, that's why I'm headed to Walmart. I online ordered a smaller one, and when we get it home, and Chris is cussing me when he's trying to put it together, I'll video him. That should be cute. So yeah, I'm gonna do my little bit of shopping, milk, eggs, like I said. Vitamins. I gotta have a shit ton of vitamins. But other than that, I got everything I need. Which reminds me, I talked to my pharmacist at the insurance company. You know, they gotta call and go over your medicines with you and blah, 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 blah. I found out 2 good things. Number 1, don't take magnesium at the same time you're taking levothyroxine. So now I have to take my magnesium at night. I'm going to try and find a smaller one anyhow, because once I take her that big, he'll choke a horse. And as I had thought, remember I told you they gave me that thing of nitroglycerin? I don't know why. Anyhow, and it came open in the you know, they put it, the little bottle, the little glass bottle, they put in a prescription bottle. Well, apparently the little glass bottle wasn't closed tight or something, because I put it down in my purse, you know, just, sorry guys, the itchies. And I cleaned out my purse one day, and they were open inside of there, and I told Chris, I said, I don't think once that's open like that, that I'm supposed to touch those. I said, I don't need them anyhow. So anyhow, I was asking the pharmacist about that. She says, yeah. She says, I want to ask you something else about that too. I said, right. I said, I know what you're going to say, because I take sildenafil. I said, they both do the same thing. She said, exactly. She says, I'm concerned about the nitro. I said, don't worry about them. I'm not going to take them anyhow. If I feel that bad, I'm calling 911. I said, plus I understand they give you a horrible headache. I grew up having migraines. I grew out of those. I ain't having no more headaches. And she says, well, you know, it will cause a horrible drop in your blood pressure taking the 2 of them. And I said, right. I said, the sildenafil has opened everything up and I can breathe and it saved my life. I said, so I'm not messing with that. I said, I'm a little smarter about medicines. I didn't tell her I used to work in healthcare field years ago. I said, I'm a little smarter about medicines and how they interact with each other than a lot of people. And if I don't know, I'm going to find out. I said, so, I questioned that. She says, well, I'm going to put a documentation in here. She says, I'm going to send you a copy of this and I want you to take it next time you see your heart doctor. I said, that's fine with me, So, there I learned two really, really important things. Well, the one I didn't know about the magnesium, and the other one I was pretty suspicious of, but she backed me up. So now, that's that on that, So anyhow, I have to go and replace. I need vitamins. I'm almost out. So, and I take like 10 or 12 vitamins, So I need to replenish those too. So I'm happily on my way to Walmart, my favorite place in the world. And if you believe that one, I know a big old piece of swampland not far from here. I'll give it to you. Yeah. Anyhow, it's a beautiful day, guys. We all woke up. It's a beautiful, beautiful day. The sky is blue. Do something for you. Made a rhyme. How about that? Do something for you. Take that time. Take that 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 5 hours, 2 hours, 2 days, whatever. Take that time to do something for you. It's important. I do. I'll be sitting there watching TV with Chris and whatever, and everything's fine. But I just, get that overwhelming. I just need to breathe a little bit. And I'll just pick up whatever I have, my coffee or my tea, and go out on the back porch, turn TV on, Take a little time for me. He gets it. He understands how I am. So it's, not a big deal when I do that. Nebraska person, you need to go back to Nebraska. The way you drive. You really do. When does their tag expire? It says 06, but it doesn't give a year. Must be a color-coded thing there. So anyhow, and this next week, once we get settled in, or maybe Friday if I have time, I'm going to call the insurance company. Because the pharmacist also told me that there is no special laws governing for any kind of a special license or anything for my allergy shots, and if my primary will keep ordering them and put an order in that I can give them to myself, we can do that. I don't think he knew that, and I don't know why he said that they can't do that, because they can do that, because they don't have to have a special license. So I'm going to talk to him too and see about doing it that way. I'll give myself shots once a month. What the hell? I ain't afraid. No. So anyhow, those are some of the things I learned talking to the pharmacist, which was really good. So I've gotten that out of the way for a year, and I won't have to talk to the pharmacist again. This person in this car up here from Nebraska is riding this guy hard in front of him. He needs to go back somewhere. So, anyhow, I learned some really, really good things. No magnesium and levothyroxine at the same time. No sildenafil and nitroglycerin together. And that there's no special laws governing who gives me those shots. It just has to be ordered by a doctor. Why couldn't my allergist have done that? Because I told the pharmacist, I said, well, there for a couple months, they were sending them to me at the house. I said, and I was just worried I was going to forget one and get all the way down there and not have my shots. I said, so I started having them send them to the allergist. And She says, no. She says, I don't see anything here that says you can't give them to yourself as long as they're doctor ordered. Good, because I need them. The itching is just, it's constant. I try not to, but if you guys see me doing this a lot, that's what it is. It's exactly what it is. Do I want to take that parking spot right there? Nah. Even though it's close to the door. Because walking never killed anybody. Okay, let's go down here. It's still pretty early. I don't imagine a lot of people are out today. Oh, you know what? I'll take this one. Right here. Right by the door. And there's like 4 or 5 of them, so we're good. Alright, guys, I'm going to hop off of here, go get my things that I can get, and then I got to go over to pick up and get the grill. So I'll be back later and show you the grill, either as hubby's putting it together or when it's all done. Alright, guys, I love y'all. Thanks for stopping, and push my buttons. Don't forget, do for you. Alright, guys, I'll see you in a bit.